So in the last video we have seen that how J.J. Thomson put forward the model of atom. Model of atom means how the electrons and protons are arranged within an atom. Now according to J.J. Thomson, the positively charged particles are evenly spread throughout the atoms. To test J.J. Thomson's model, Rutherford also performed one experiment. This is called Rutherford's experiment, in which he used a thin gold foil. He used a gold foil because we know that gold is a noble metal and it will not react with any energy particles if they strike on it. So the gold foil, a very thin gold foil was taken, and gold is a solid. So you know that all the atoms in the gold foil will be arranged close together, one after the other, tightly packed. That means if this gold foil is taken here, then all this gold foil will be a positively charged, evenly spread mass, we can say, because the atoms are very closely packed in the gold foil. Now what he did, he thought that if the positively charged particles are made to fall on that gold foil, then they should all be able to pass through it. If very high energy positively charged particles are made to pass through it, then all of them should be passing through it straight. Why they should all be passing through it straight? Because all the particles which are moving from the radium and moving towards the gold foil, they will all be experiencing the same repulsion by the evenly spread positive charge on the gold foil. What he used to produce the positively charged particles, which were named as alpha particles, he used radium. Radium is a radioactive substance. By itself in the nature, it has the nature to disintegrate into alpha particles, that is the nucleus of helium, which has two positive charges because it contains two protons. Now what he did, he put the radium into a lead chamber. Why lead chamber? Because lead is having the capacity to absorb those particles which are produced by the radium, and all these particles are made to pass through two positively charged parallel plates. Now why these positively charged parallel plates are taken? Because the alpha particles also are positively charged. If they are passing through two parallel positively charged plates, then they will be moving in a straight line, as they will experience the same repulsion from both the positive plates. So in a straight line they move, and a circular zinc sulfide screen was used so that the glow which is produced by the falling protons should be detected by the glow which is produced on the zinc sulfide screen. So it is a circular screen and a very thin opening is kept here, and in the center of that zinc sulfide screen the gold foil is placed. When the alpha particles started moving from here, they struck the gold foil straight here, and the glow was produced. What was expected by Rutherford? He expected that all the glow should be produced in the region A, that means which is just behind the gold foil. But when the glows were observed, then it was observed that some glow was produced in this region, which is denoted by B and B here, and some of the glow was produced in the region which is denoted by C and C on the circular zinc sulfide screen. It was also observed that the maximum glow was produced at the point A, which is straight behind the gold foil. So on the basis of these observations made by Rutherford, he thought that the positively charged particles are not thinly spread or evenly spread throughout the gold foil, but it is present concentrated on some parts in the gold foil. This led to the discovery of the nucleus, because if the particles, the alpha particles which are carrying two positive charges, when they strike the nucleus, that is the concentrated positive mass, then they will get repelled, because the same charges are there. Alpha particles also carry positive charge and the nucleus also contains positive charge. So when they experience repulsion, then they will move away from this path, from their path they will get deflected. So if they straight directly strike to the nucleus, then they will experience more repulsion and they get deflected back and produce the scintillations or the glow in region C and C. And if they just crossed near to the nucleus in the gold foil, then also they experience repulsion, but the angle of deflection was smaller, so they produce the glow in the region B and B. And if they did not strike the nucleus and they moved in the atom, through the gold foil, that means farther from the nucleus, then they were able to cross the gold foil and they produce the glow in the region A. Now, some of the particles, alpha particles, which struck the nucleus straight in the center of the nucleus, it was seen that they moved back and they turned by 360-degree angle. So, they reversed their path. So, this proved that the positive charge is present in a very small space in an atom, and it is concentrated inside the center of the atom. And most of the part of the atom, though the atom is very tiny, but most of the part of the atom is empty because the maximum glow was produced in the region A. This showed what? That most of the particles, alpha particles, were able to pass through the gold foil straight. That means they did not feel any repulsion. But it was also observed that some of the particles deflected by 360 degree. That means they turned their path and moved towards the source from where they were produced. That means they struck directly into the nucleus where the positive charge was concentrated. When they reached to the nucleus, near to the nucleus, then the angle of deflection was bigger. And if they moved to the nucleus but slightly away from the nucleus, then the angle of deflection was smaller. So this led to the discovery of the nucleus. That means the positive charge is not evenly spread, but it is concentrated in some part of the atom. This was called the Rutherford's model of atom.